going.
Yeah.
Took a couple of pictures.
Okay, call the meeting order at 7. First, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Next, the approval of minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion made by Mr. Pfaff, seconded by Mr. Pshinski to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Waddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Peforski?
Yes.
Mr. Pshinski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Next, the approval of claims.
Make a motion to approve the claims. Second motion.
Motion made by Mr. Pshinski, seconded by Mr. Pfaff to approve the claims. Any discussion? Mrs. Waddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Peforski?
Yes.
Mr. Pshinski?
Yes.
Mr. Pfaff?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Next, utilities, MCO report. Good evening.
Good evening. Hopefully everybody's got a copy of the report. Just briefly go through it. Adam's working on getting parts put together for down there at the street department building to get the one remaining section, water main removed, and then we'll move the hydrant over about probably 10 or 15 feet, so it's away from the building. And Weston Excavating probably won't be doing that work. We did contact Evapar. They're going to service the generators. For some reason, they didn't get serviced last year, so they'll be serviced this year. They do that. We use them with a lot of different towns, so they really do a very good job with it. So the GIS project's proceeding well. The first round and the biggest round of field work is complete. There was a training session in August, I think you went, or I went to, and I think it was, I think you guys learned something on it. It's pretty interesting what you can do with that. It's a pretty amazing program that can be done. The well houses have been pressure washed and they're almost painted. We got one little section that Bryce needs to paint yet. We're going to have to do a little bit of, there's some of the wood trims rotting, so we're probably just going to replace that. We'll probably replace it with PVC trim there. The standardized monitoring framework will be complete this week. The only thing we have to do is lead and copper testing. Midco Diving will be here this month. They did not when they were here. They actually wanted to come out on a Saturday and do it, and I said I didn't think it was too good of an idea to have them up there on Saturday in the tower. So they said they will be back in the area again, so within the next couple of weeks. Good news is, I think this is good news anyway, the North Clarifier has still been a problem. We have danced around with that thing for a year. Finally got a hold of it. They do have a rep. It's Marshall Bond Company in Illinois, and Ron Bond has worked with him before. Very, very knowledgeable. He's been a great help on what it could be, as opposed to the people that actually designed it. So how about that? We think there's a drum under there inside the clarifier that we probably need to gain access to. I'm going to try taking off a shroud, a seal, see if I can see what's going on in there. And then there's a little arm that goes around there. If there's something stuck in there, it could be causing it to seize up. So we'll see. Worst case scenario, probably we may have to come in and cut a hole in that shroud so we can actually look in it. I'm going to try going from the bottom. The problem is the toughest thing is just getting the clarifier empty. We can hopefully get it drained down about that far from the bottom, so you almost got to lay on the floor to take a look inside. But I think we're in the right direction finally. So. Brad attended the Smith & Loveless pump training session. Actually, Tom did too, didn't you? And it was a good training session. I think we came out with it. We're probably going to invest a little bit of money to get some spare parts on hand. I'm just going to have one box, a toolbox that's going to have all the parts we need for all the lift stations. Not the major stuff like the seals and that, but the stuff that could go wrong, and hopefully we can probably hopefully do the troubleshooting in-house, so we don't have to get, superior gas mode out every time there's a problem like we're kind of currently doing. So I think it can be, it's a doable thing. So, and I think Brett's, he was okay with it too. Still waiting on a pump for the Nash Finch lift station. I don't know why Superior hasn't given, I'm gonna talk to Gas Moda too on that. And finally, the Westville Estates lift station. We may be stuck with that, wet mount unit like we have, just because of the way the wet well is constructed. I'm gonna do a final check. We have another option that John and we're gonna discuss what the best route's gonna be. The problem is with the way they designed those stations is where the turn off and turn on of the pumps, is shallower because you don't have the pump sitting in the basin. Well, most sewage pumps need to be covered for cooling purposes, so I don't think we have enough. The on-off range probably isn't enough where we can do it. We could get special pumps that got glycol or they're oil cooled, so you don't need the water to cool them. But we're going to look at all the options and hopefully have some idea what to do with it. We are going to need to determine what to do with some of the flow meters though too, because I know the flow meter at Nash Finch is the one that's not working. The problem with that is the clamp-on meters that they use are not they're not a very accurate meter, so we may need to invest a little bit of money into it, maybe put a second bulb out at those places where it can put a regular mag meter in. So, other than that, that's all I got.
Any questions or anything else?
I was just gonna add one thing with the Republic Service Agreement, so on the sludge, our contract ended with Republic on September 1st, so we did get a price back from Republic Service. We didn't have anybody bid the initial round. Waste Management, I guess, they can't haul off 18 tons with their trucks. So Republic Services gave us an updated price, and we're gonna be working through right the next week or two to finalize their terms and conditions. So they're what we previously had and not their new terms and conditions.
Their disposal fee was, that's what jumped on it.
Yes, it went from $26 to $40, so
Yeah.
that's per ton, so it's about $243 more this year per haul off. So, but then, you said you might be able to reduce the amount, you guys don't have as many trucks going out possibly?
Well, the way Adam's got it down pretty much to science right now, I think. I mean, he changed polymers. It looks, I think we're probably going, 1.5 to 2 a month at the most.
Yeah, so that's, I think on their estimate, we were averaging previously, like last year, like 2.3, so if we get down to 1.5 to 2, that'll make up that cost.
And last year was even better than before, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, well, it's still, this price is still less than we were paying with Waste Management like 3-4 years ago. So, that's one thing to keep in mind, so we'll kind of go through that. We might look at just doing a 1-year agreement now, and then we might see if there's other parties interested in bidding it, so, later on. That's it.
Okay, anything else in utilities? Streets?
That's it, I'm gonna take off.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you.
Good evening.
Only thing I have is, we got ahold of Luke Riley and tried to give us a date. They said possibly close to the 18th, so maybe next week sometime, get started and have a pre-construction meeting before they get on a roll.
Before it all breaks loose.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on streets? Parks?
Nothing yet. Resolution.
Okay. Police?
I don't have a department head report. The portal that I used to get my numbers was down all day. But I do need to get rid of the Crown Vic, unfortunately. It's got an electrical issue. It's, no matter what, Jim has looked at it for hours and hours and hours and can't find where the electrical system is drawing from. So instead of him investing more time and trying to fix something, he said even if he fixed that, he wouldn't promise that it'd be a vehicle that he would want to put people in for an emergency situation, so he said he would recommend getting rid of it. It's about $200 to $300 to take the electrical, the radio, lights and everything off. I'm sure it's gonna be a couple $100 to get the decals off, and then we'll have to sell it. So I just need to let you guys know that, and I don't know, I guess if you advertise it and put it up, or,
Yeah, they just make a motion to declare it surplus property, and then once you get it ready, just get the serial, the VIN number, and then we'll put it in.
okay. So we
Yeah,
can
the
do that.
museum doesn't want it.
I know, right?
Crown Vics are getting
Crown Vics are about gone, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It
saw
made it,
state police one the other, last week.
Yeah.
it made it 9 years. That's pretty good.
Those were the workhorse of a lot of police departments. Okay, just to an update, today NIPSCO consolidated the electric service at the police station from 3 meters to 1. So we're waiting to get the price and looking at the gas, what the requirement will be for a gas line in there and what to do with meters there. So we're still talking that, waiting on the plan approval for the garage. Charlie hasn't heard back. That was sent
Charlie's
in.
in Portland, but he'll be back tomorrow.
Okay.
So,
So hopefully have status on that, because that's ready to go. Anything else on Popo? No, please. Finance,
do
we
we
have.
have to make a motion now?
What'd you make?
You wanna-
Yeah,
For the Crown Vic.
then we get it done.
Okay, I'll make a motion that, once the, equipment is, and decals are removed from the Crown Vic, that we declare it surplus and sell it.
Second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mrs. Riddell to declare the Crown Vic police car surplus after removal of the radio equipment and decals and sell it. Any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Potworski?
Yes.
Mr. Pachinski?
Yes.
Mr. Pat?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. We have the salary ordinance 2019-6. And all these salaries include the 8% on the retirement. Clerk general fund, each council member, $2,400, clerk treasurer, $13,951, clerk level A, $11,093, general fund police town marshal, $57,180.04, chief deputy, $47,383.44, first class deputy, $44,417.62, probationary deputy, $40,000.22, crossing guard, $11,491. MVH, street superintendent, $57,188.04, laborer, $40,056.64, part-time labor is $11.90 per hour. Water, town council, annual, $2,400, clerk treasurer, $13,951.86, clerk level A, $11,093.68, utility superintendent, $28,074, ops foreman, 3 licenses, $23,171.72, 2 licenses, $24,89.04, 1 license, $18,760, water operator, $36,502.96, labor, $28,520.18, sewage, town council, $2,400, clerk treasurer, $13,951.86, clerk level A, $11,093.68, utility superintendent, $28,074.02, ops foreman, with 3 licenses, $23,171.72, with 2 licenses, $24,89.04, 1 license, $18,760.04, sewer operator, $31.60, laborer, $28,520, part-timer is also $11.90 per hour. I will make a motion that we approve ordinance 2019-6 on the first reading. Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mrs. Riddell to approve ordinance 2019-6 on the first reading. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Potworski?
Yes.
Mr. Pachinski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraft?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. I will make a motion that we suspend the rules and adopt ordinance 2019-6.
Second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Pachinski to suspend the rules and adopt ordinance 2019-6. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Riddell?
Yes.
Mrs. Potworski?
Yes.
Mr. Pachinski?
Yes.
Mr. Kraft?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Anything else on finance? Zoning, under miscellaneous.
I'll just give a quick update. This is an item that we need to table for another meeting. Randy, myself, Charlie Ray, and Lori, we met with Doug Beege, because we've been, the planning commission, we've been doing a lot of discussions and working towards how does Westville become part of the joint zoning ordinance that the county, LaPorte, and Michigan City are all part of. Doug Beege helped in the process of adopting that joint zoning ordinance, so we went to him to see how this might work and to discuss scope and who would be doing what. So we had that discussion in the meeting and tried to figure out what would be a budget amount to have Doug Beege work with the town and Randy and the planning commission to get the zoning ordinance updated. He originally said an amount of $5,000. We still gotta work out some details on that to make sure that we'd be within that amount, which is fairly inexpensive if you look at the cost of what it would typically cost for a zoning ordinance update like this would be, what do you think, Randy? Yeah, at least double. So, this would be very helpful, I think, and give us, it's a good ordinance. I think Charlie's comfortable with it. I think it has a lot of the kinks worked out of it, but it's something we want to make sure that actually fits our town. If we need to restrict beyond the count, there's gonna be some areas we have to restrict a little bit further, and that's what Charlie's gonna be helping on. So, our next meeting that we have, I'll be bringing up a budget amount of what that'll be, so.
That's great. Any other miscellaneous? Any citizen comments? Anything else to come before the council?
I just also mentioned that Calvin and Ken are putting up a sign,
Oh, yeah,
concrete was poured today,
yeah.
so it won't be long. And it's a very nice looking sign.
Oh, cool. Really looking, thanks to them too for pitching in on that. Anything else? I will make a motion that we adjourn.
I second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mrs. Petorsky to adjourn. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, being none, meeting adjourns at 7:17.
Right.
See you guys.
So,
See ya.
High five,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Hey, Darren?
Sure.
The ones
Oh,
that,
did you-